Romance is in the air. Animals show affection in all kinds of ways, but affection doesn't really come into play for the nursery web spider. To pass along his genes without being eaten alive, a male needs to play a dangerous game of chance. So grab your nuptial gift, wrap it in silk, and remember that it's mate or be eaten in life, death, and taxonomy.
Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy, your 30 minutes of interesting animal info. I'm Joe.
And I am Carlos.
And today we're talking about something small and spindly. Yeah.
And spidery.
Oh, yeah.
Very spidery.
Because it's a spider.
I'd say the spideriness is at 100% for this one.
Yeah, it is at 100% because it's a full-on spider.
And this is our second spider. If you want to know about another cool spider, listen to our diving bell spider episode.
Yeah.
From last season.
It's
pretty neat.
It's going to share some traits.
Sure.
And by some, I mean one.
The fact that it's a spider?
Okay, two. And I'll get to that.
All right. So what's the breakdown? Also, what's the name of this spider?
The name of the spider is the Nursery Web Spider.
Oh, that's cute.
Nursery Web.
It does make you want to do that. It makes you want to, get rid of the...
Because I'm used to saying nursery rhyme.
So
a nursery rhyme. Yeah, I say that all the time. Every day I'm saying nursery rhyme.
All the dime.
All the dime long.
Okay.
Speaking of which, let's talk about some taxonomy breakdowns. Kingdom.
Ooh. I know this one.
Go for it.
Animalia.
No. I mean, yes.
Okay, good.
Kingdom Animalia.
I was worried.
Phylum Arthropoda. Class Arachnida. Order Araneae.
You've been practicing.
These are easy.
Oh, okay. What is this next one easy?
Family Pissaridae. Do you think that's
Pissaridae?
Pissaridae sounds good. Yeah, I just put an emphasis in the wrong spot. It's
okay.
Fine. And that's pretty much where the nursery web spider lives. It's an entire family.
Yeah, but
let's have some example species.
Do we have the same example?
I doubt
species?
it. Maybe.
Really? Okay.
Mine are kind of alphabetical. Example genus is Afropissarara. That sounds right.
That's the whole word. I only have one genus and one species here.
What's your genus?
Pissara.
Okay, mine is Afro. I guess that one must be from Africa.
But
from what I saw, it's mostly North America these guys live.
Okay.
And an example species is Deuces.
No way.
It's Deuces, like D-U-C-I-S.
Okay. Thug spider.
Yeah. Well, whatever it takes.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Afropissara Deuces.
Okay. I have Pissara mirabilis.
That one sounds neat.
That was what I read was when you reference the nursery web spider and their interesting habits, that's the one that displays it the most.
Okay.
So
that must be a North American species.
It was European, actually. Species. Yeah, the Sean Connery version of species.
Okay, let's talk about what it looks like. It gets mistaken for wolf spiders a lot.
Okay.
So if you know what a wolf spider looks like, it looks pretty much the same. It's got the elongated teardrop abdomen, and then like a round cephalothorax.
Ooh.
That's a thorax with a head on it.
Yeah, that sounds like a head middle.
Yeah. So insects have a thorax and a head. Mm-hmm. Spiders have one piece that makes a both.
Right.
Called a cephalothorax.
That's what makes them not insects.
Yes.
Part of it.
Yeah. And 8 legs is a thing that they have. They have long legs that reach out far from the body as opposed to like a black widow or a tarantula that kind of, their natural position is to still sit high on their legs, scrunched up. They have the, splayed out legs.
Okay.
And they like to sit in an X pattern sometimes where each leg is in a pair.
Yeah, I saw that. So it looks like it has these 2 big legs, like
right.
It's some sort of pod racer. Like sticking out.
Okay, yeah.
Like a big fork.
It's just more comfortable.
Yeah, that sounds like it's pretty comfortable. If you use fluids to move instead of muscles, yeah, that sounds like a pretty comfortable way to sit.
How do you mean fluids?
Oh, are you going to go into their motion?
No.
Oh, the way that like spiders in general extend or retract their legs is by pumping fluid through their legs.
Hydrodynamics.
Instead of like the tension of a muscle, they use fluid dynamics.
That's crazy and gross. So if they get like a little nick in like one of their muscles leak out essentially.
And then they just can't use that leg anymore.
Yike. All right.
Whatever a spider can.
Which is that Spider-Man has liquid legs. Yeah, everyone knows that.
Liquid legs. Gross.
So there's one thing that's different between a wolf spider and a nursery web spider, and if you're trying to identify what's in your garden, you can use this, and it's the eyeballs. The wolf spider has 2 large eyeballs and 6 smaller ones. NWS has pretty much all the same size eyeballs. Nursery Web.
So, should we have a new segment whenever we do spiders called "What's in Your Garden"? And it's how to identify whether or not this spider is venomous or not.
We could. Did you find out how venomous it is?
I did not.
Neither did I.
Okay.
But normally when you don't find anything about the venom of spider, it's not deadly to humans.
Well, very few spiders are deadly. I think we've talked about this before. Very few. Even the black widow isn't automatically deadly.
Even the
brown recluse.
I was listening to some comedian on some show talking about like, yeah, I got bit by a black widow. It wasn't a brown recluse, thank goodness. The other really deadly spider. Look, nope. No, you're wrong, sir. And you're saying wrong things on television.
You can't do that.
The brown recluse is not deadly, but it does cause necrosis, which is nasty and painful.
But is it more dangerous than a black widow?
I think the black widow is more dangerous.
Just because, like children and the elderly are more susceptible to stuff like this. If you have a weak immune system, it's just those can cause complications. But for the average healthy adult, they don't really pose a fatal problem to you. Not like a snake venom does or something like that.
Right. It's like certain over-the-counter medications. Like it could be dangerous for someone who's really young, but it doesn't mean it's as deadly as a black widow.
Right. That's our PSA on spider venom.
Yeah. But that being said, don't touch spiders that you don't know about.
It's true.
Even if it doesn't kill you, it can hurt pretty dang bad.
Especially if the word necrosis is involved.
Yeah, that means the decaying of your skin while you're alive. Not cool. That being said, it's time for the segment that you've come to know and love on this show called Measure Up.
I love it.
So its length, in terms of its body, not including its legs, is about 1/2 inch to a full inch. So averaging that to be about 1/2 inch. A conga line of spiders could reach the top of the Statue of Liberty if there were 7,321 of them.
That's cute. A little conga line of spiders.
Yeah.
So that takes into account like their uprightness because they have to hold on to the spider in front of them.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
To escape predators, they can jump 6 inches. Okay.
That's pretty high for something that's only 1/2 inch long.
Or 1/15 as long as Michael Jordan. So to escape a predator, he can jump 1/15 of Michael Jordan.
That's proportionally better than Michael Jordan can jump.
Yeah. Just barely, though.
The spider's better than Michael Jordan.
Probably not at basketball.
At ups.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like you could school him on the courts. Still, you know?
Yeah, but when it comes to just straight vert, spider's got that thing pinned down.
Let's talk about their name, Nursery Web Spider, where'd that come from? They get their name from the fact that the mothers build silk tents for their eggs right before they hatch. So she sees them start to do the little this egg's about to hatch in Jurassic Park wiggle.
Yep.
And she builds this silk webbing around them, and she's able to carry that egg sac around in her jaws and pedipalps. Pedipalps are the front limbs that arthropods have, which in Spiders are the sensory limbs.
All
You
right.
can feel stuff with them. Scorpions, they are pincers.
Those are the pedipalps?
Yep.
Sounds like a friend of children. Pedipal.
Pedipalps.
That's how you know, like, principal and principal. It's because the PAL is your friend. That's how you know the difference between the two words.
Let's hope he is. So I mentioned that they were similar to the diving bell spider in a certain way.
Okay.
And that is because they can walk on the surface of water.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And if they are trying to escape a predator, they can dive. Not in a diving bell. They can swim underwater.
Huh.
Now that seems interesting to me because usually things that
Can
walk on water are like small insects that can walk on water and bugs and
They're
small things.
they're
Not breaking the surface tension of the water.
yeah, they're not heavy enough. Well, their weight is distributed enough to the point where they almost can't break the surface tension.
But we talked about how the diving bell spider, the males are typically larger and bigger because they need to be able to break that surface tension because they hunt on land and underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they hunt on land. And
They mostly hunt underwater, but they have to go get stuff. They have to make their
Supplies?
bubbles.
Oh,
They
air.
have to go get stick their butts up to the surface and attach air to their abdomens.
Right. And it takes some effort when you're small and light to break surface tension.
Right. That's interesting.
What sets them apart from other spiders? So if you see a spider in your garden and it's building a web, it's probably not a nursery web because they don't build webs and they don't hunt by capturing prey in a web. They hunt, they're ambush predators. So they'll hide in some dark corner until something walks by and then they'll attack and overpower it.
Like the trapdoor spider.
Just like
or
the
a tarantula.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen trapdoor spider? It looks like it has an Oreo for a face.
I did not see
We should
that.
totally do that one.
That's
sometime.
your Google assignment for today.
Look up the trapdoor spider because it looks like it's actually has like the design of an Oreo flat round face.
That's delicious.
I bet you it's not.
Speaking of tarantula, they do think that they're distantly related to them, to tarantulas, because they're so large.
The trapdoor spider?
No. The nursery web spider.
They're so large?
Yeah, so the body itself is an inch. Think about that. Not including the legs.
An inch is, the size of... That's like, the size of your thumb
like this
from
big.
the middle knuckle to the...
It's this big. I'm holding up about an inch right now.
That's not an inch at all.
Oh, this is. Pray I do not alter it further.
I have altered the inch. Pray I do not alter it further.
Anyway, the body is about an inch and the legs are splayed out pretty long. So you've got a pretty like a half what are those underwater dollar things called?
A sand dollar?
Sand dollars. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's just about as big as your average banana golden orb spider.
Yeah. But it's got the, furriness that a tarantula has.
Which is creepy.
Tarantello.
Quentin
Tarantula. Their range is native to North America. They typically like northern regions.
There's also a big one in Europe.
Yeah.
Big one, and meaning that there are a lot of them in Europe also.
Yeah. A bit, not this size necessarily. But there's some debate as to how far west they go in the United States. People tend to think that they live in southwestern Canada and in the northern United States, but some say that they go as far down as like Arizona, that like 4 states regions and deserty stuff. But typically we think them to be northern North America.
It's weird that something that doesn't have warm blood prefers colder climates.
Well, how do they do this? A good question. So in their life cycle, they live for about a year. So they're not having to weather many winters. They're born in the late summer area of time. And as juvenile spiders, they hide in rocks and loose bark through the fall and winter. So they just sit in there until it's warm enough to come out and hunt and mate.
So it's kind of like a little mini spider hibernation.
It is. Oh my goodness. Get to the major facts, please.
All right. Thank you, General Info. Major Facts here reporting for duty. Just as a warning, the rest of this is going to be about the mating habits of spiders. So we're gonna be talking about spiders' eggs. Prepare yourself.
It's not going to get that hot and heavy.
It's not gonna be lewd.
No, they're
below.
spiders. They know nothing of romance.
True, and I'll tell you why. All right, so instead of saying male nursery web spider and female nursery web spider, I'm just going to call them Pete and MJ.
Okay.
So mating for spiders is dangerous and tricky stuff, just like humans. In a lot of cases, the female spider is a femme fatale.
Ah.
That's French for deadly woman. Because they engage in sexual cannibalism.
Not cool.
Which means that you mate and then you eat the male. Kind of sucks for the male, but at least he got to mate.
Mm-hmm.
So MJ straight up does not want to mate.
Like ducks.
Yeah, it's you kind of have to
talk about that later.
You have to be forceful. You have to be very forward.
I'm not doing it.
And
Peter does.
Yeah, I'm talking to just you, Peter.
All the spiders listening.
So Peter usually has to offer a gift to MJ in order to get her to sit still long enough for him to get a sex in. And the gifts are usually like small insects wrapped in silk, completely wrapped in silk.
The finest of packaging.
Right. And it's packaged that way for a reason. Because no matter what, the only way you're going to win MJ's heart is by bringing her food. Whether you bring food or you are the food, that's the only way this is going to work. So the better it's wrapped, the longer it will take MJ to unwrap and eat, which gives you more time for copulation.
Mm-hmm.
And increases the chances of Peter knocking boots. So he...
Little spider boots.
Little spider boots.
Like from American Tail. Fievel Goes West. Spider wears boots.
Don't bring Fievel into this. It's too pure. So Peter usually tries to keep one leg on the gift, otherwise MJ will run away with it. Or attack him and try to get it out of his hands. So she doesn't want to be here. She doesn't want to be around him. But he needs to get it on.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to. There's a lot of things that precautions he needs to take to A, make sure he successfully completes it, and B, that he does not die.
Mm-hmm.
So she might run away. She might also just attack him and take the gift. To avoid this, when he's doing what he does best. And MJ starts moving, like away from him, he will engage in thanatosis.
Excuse me?
I know what you're thinking, and get your mind out of the gutter.
I was actually thinking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We're talking about spider sex here.
Okay.
Thanatosis is playing dead. So, like, any animal that plays dead is engaging in thanatosis, like the possum.
Okay. Why isn't it... Now, I'm no expert here, but my initial thoughts is that she would be like, "Good, I'm out."
Well,
deuces. Well, and that's how they got their name.
Look, that spider's going deuces. Well, he'll go all limp, and when she starts moving, so that he's not like pulling against her, so that she doesn't turn around and kill him. Instead, she'll move, and he kind of becomes limp and hangs on.
And he's dead weight.
So
he's literally
dead weight.
Going boneless.
Yes, because he has no bones. His bones are on the outside, a.k.a. exoskeleton, which aren't bones at all. So he'll get dragged along for a while, and then when she stops moving, he'll kind of come back to life and then pick up where he left off. So that's interesting.
The games they play.
So yeah, that must be an interesting thing to watch. You just see this like spider kind of come around to the female spider, and then the female spider MJ starts to try to get away, and then Pete kind of just goes limp, And then as soon as she stops moving, he comes back with an emo haircut and a bad attitude. And then he tries to make some spiderlings again. So sometimes people want to get his boogie on, but he can't get his hands on any grub. He can't catch any bugs or anything, so he'll fake it.
Fake it till you make it.
So will MJ, but he'll fake it.
Fake it till you make out with a spider.
So what he'll do is he'll just wrap up a rock or just a bunch of pieces of leaves or a twig or something like that. Or sometimes he'll just make a ball of silk.
That seems like the best tactic.
Yeah, doesn't it? Because she'll just keep unwrapping forever thinking that it's in there.
She's like, okay, that's a stick. I know this is a stick, but if it's just a ball, she's just like, where is this? This must be the smallest fly I've ever seen. And then she looks up, and she's like, hey, and then he's gone.
he's please don't eat me.
He says deuces,
yeah,
and he's out of there.
Yeah, he's out of there.
Roll of threes.
So yeah, he'll trick the female to be interested in the gift long enough to mate.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like bringing your lady a box of chocolates without any chocolates in them and also glued shut.
She needs to get a box cutter.
And while she's trying to do that, you go in for the kill.
Well, not the kill.
Not the kill, but
the opposite of that, making more.
So that you don't get killed.
Right.
And if she opens it too quickly, MJ will realize that it's a fake gift and then kill the male. Kill Pete.
Well, I'm hungry and you're here.
Poor sneaky Pete. So it's a really risky strategy. So that's the interesting thing I have about the Nursery Web Spider. It's fake nuptial gifts. It's some serious natural deception going on.
Yeah. Stones for bones. I might cut that out.
So, whether you bring a sex gift or just do a pump fake, try not to get eaten in life, death, and taxonomy.
Hey, listeners. If you're happy for these two arachnid newlyweds, send them your own nuptial gifts in the form of iTunes reviews. There's nothing a couple of spiders like more than a solid 5-star podcast. So don't be a recluse. Let us hear from you.